patrons. Hunter's already in the chat.
That's me.
Already talking smack.
He's
He's like, who let the kids out in the FT circuit? Where are all their parents?
Yeah, what the hell? Oh my gosh.
We'll let some people pop in here in a minute. But, yeah,
Hello
I think.
to the early bird specials.
Yeah.
To the diehard gang.
There you are.
How are you all?
There we are. Alrighty. We get get a couple things set up, but yeah, man. So
how was your wedding time?
It was solid. I mean, I'm not a big. I don't know. Like, it was kind of embarrassing. So, what's up, Malik? So it was kind of embarrassing. So just so everyone knows, I had to miss FD Orlando. It's my first FD event that I've missed in years. Because I was a part of my buddy's wedding. What's up, Malcolm?
He's saying I got an echo. Oh, is my mic still? Is it okay?
You sound good to me. It's probably because I played the video. Let me guys know if there's still an echo.
Yeah, Malcolm, let me holler at your boy. I never want to be that guy.
You know, sometimes you are that guy, though.
I definitely am. Like I said, if I touch this thing, one like half a millimeter out of cock, it starts making fuzzy noises.
To the left.
Like, every once in a while, dude, when I'm playing games, especially a Seto, if I run into a wall and then like say I hit this thing, it will play an actual like a thunderstruck sound and then like a car crash. Like you'll hear like a.
Hold up. I figured it out.
Oh.
All right. How about now? You need to talk now, because I think I figured it out.
Now. Is it better?
Yeah, because we were getting desktop audio from you and collab. All right. I think
testing now.
I think are we good now? Maybe. We'll see how long it takes the chat to figure it out. But I think we're okay, because I'm only getting one stream now. Solid is good.
Sorry, everybody.
First day on the job. But
something like that.
So I was obviously in the wedding, right? And we were doing the after party. What's up, AJ? And like everyone's dancing and stuff, and we're having a good time. And I'm over on the table just watching Formula Drift. Just trying to keep an eye on who's going where and who's doing what. And it's just
yeah. When you text me, you're like, all right, so I think only we have what was it, LZ and Field?
Yeah, and top
or
8.
whatever for I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah, I was trying to keep an eye on it just to help you guys out for if you needed it.
Yeah, so. I mean, like, I figured at that point, I'm like, everybody, there's just so much chaos going on that I'm just gonna shoot everything at this point. I'm like, there's just every run, I don't know. There's fires after every other car. I mean, tire fires for Orlando are not anything out of the like ordinary, but like it's thrilling to see. It's good footage to get to, you know.
Yeah.
For your if you do your recaps or whatever.
I've been slacking. I've been trying to get my content done, and then I got my day job, so it was like hadn't really had time to do stuff for my own channel. But
it's all good. We look for like the things that you did for this preseason, like going into like this year's FD. Yeah, I think it was better timing to release it then. Than like along with everybody's vlog and everything else that they released during the rounds, you know. It's like, all right, it just gets a little convoluted and stuff.
Yeah, I usually try and at least do top 16 runs though, just post them. So I'm gonna try and probably do that either maybe tonight. I don't know. So just so you guys know, we're doing this. The podcast probably be an hour and a half or something. Is what I'm guessing, an hour. And then I gotta go drive 3 hours to the other side of Michigan.
You're heading there tonight?
Yeah, and for Grid Life Midwest. So yeah, I gotta probably make the hotel around midnight or something, and then gotta wake up early and go to Grid Life Midwest tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel bad. I'm leaving you stranded on that one.
Yeah, it's fine. You'll be okay.
I was looking forward to be like an extra hand if you really needed it too. No cap. I
Yeah,
was like, oh, I was gonna be there, and then
it's
I
more
could
of a
just
chill event for
do.
me, to be
I
honest. I mean,
know,
I
but
I don't
you know a
really.
guy that's holding the camera anyway.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
know.
it's like
True.
you
But
know.
yeah. So first time I don't make FD Orlando in years, and it's nice. It's the first time we've ever had nice weather all weekend.
Yeah,
It's not even fair.
10 out of 10.
I mean, it looked
It was
hot, but I mean that's nothing, you know.
yeah. I mean, like I walk outside here and I feel the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's it was toasty. I mean, I looked at my phone. It said that on Friday it was 88, but like that's my phone. Somebody else took an actual temperature reading at the track, and they were saying that it was like 90 to like 100, like 95 to 100, and I was like, I guess I don't know. It was- I guess but like I just kept the backpack full with nice water and just moseyed my way around, and honestly, other than just sweat, put on a sick tan. Like that was top
Nice.
tier. I only put suntan lotion on Friday at like 5 p.m. I was a little late to the party.
A little late there, bud.
I was a little late to the party on that one. But yeah, I mean, overall the weather was just incredible. Even just landing, just getting off the airplane and going into the parking lot, and I was like, all right, it's nice out. This is beautiful. This is hold it strong, baby. Mother Nature, and she did. She must have known that I was just in pain already.
Yeah.
She's like, oh,
Yeah.
let's just make it a little better for this kid. Let's get him to come back for New Jersey. Let's
Exactly. Yeah, and so event went pretty smoothly though. It looked like you know.
Yeah, I mean, no like major, like and so far in the past few rounds this year, there's definitely been like some drama. There's been some like angry fans, I could say, at certain calls and whatever. But like overall, I genuinely think like going back and like thinking about each one of the runs as much as I can remember, I don't remember any that truly stood out to you're like, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Like, it's definitely seemed very fair. I think that the people who won each battle provingly won each battle. They're like the one more times, they got one more times. So, and they got to prove themselves. Uh, like Diego's versus Osbo's, like when they got that one more time right there in the top 16, I was like, oh, baby.
Yep.
Oh, baby. I knew that Osbo, I mean, overall, he wasn't standing out in practice and
Mm-hmm.
like at all, like throughout like Friday, that whole like, obviously didn't have to do the seating bracket, but then like going into warm-ups on Saturday, he just truly like comparatively to some of these other guys, not fast and not throwing like crazy moves like
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
hell yeah, AJ.
I think well, let's get into the seating bracket first. We'll start there because that turned out to be a predictor of the winner, actually.
Yeah,
So
you nailed it.
it's kind of funny how that worked out. But no, I mean, and I will say this with Connor Shanahan. Obviously, he's an amazing driver. I just can't believe how quickly he has learned how to drive right hand drive or left hand drive.
Left hand drive, yeah.
Left hand drive, yeah.
Yep.
Learn to drive left hand drive, make a car that's competitive, but I would never consider that car to be the fastest car here or anything.
No.
He's on a tire that is decent, but
Hmm.
the complaints I've heard about Viator is his tire life, and one of the biggest things, the biggest factors of winning in Orlando is tire life here. because that thing that Trek eats tires. I think it
Yep.
helps that he chased. I think every battle
Yeah.
first.
Yep.
So I think that's a huge plus for him in saving tire for his lead run.
Absolutely.
Um, but I've just been really impressed with his driving and the scenario he's been given. And I mean, you can't really complain about really any of his wins, I would say. Like, they were all super solid, especially in the seating bracket.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I mean, he shined. He absolutely shined, and it's it's thrilling to see. Honestly, like I really don't have many words other than he just watching him drive and like watching James drive. Like pretty much everybody in the field right now, like Manoa, Hiroya, right? I think that's his first name.
yeah.
Um, Everyone, Dimitri, Ryan Literal, like just killing it. It's just it brings me back to actually appreciating all of this and like not just looking at it as a monotonous like this is terrible, this is pain, and like for what, but then like when they put on a show like that, it's like this is why this is this
Right.
this is the bee's knees right here, like, and starting it like you said in the seating bracket, like at people just like going out for a qualifying run and they're just throwing these heaters down, like absolutely just on the door. Like I didn't know if it could get any better after the seating bracket. I mean, it ultimately did,
Yeah.
but
Let me just pull up the seating bracket so we have something to actually stare at. And
yeah, it was definitely a little rough there, AJ. I mean, I was noticing something that James Dean was doing, because he was leading a lot, I think, if not all of his runs first. And he would go do his lead, but while he's scrubbing his tires, actually, beforehand, he would hardly scrub. You would see those rear tires hardly make any bit of smoke, if they did at all. He's only using throttle to turn that car back around. He was really scrubbing the fronts in. And then when he would finish that lead, he would drive through the grass. And I'm like, that's the only thing I could think of was to try to heat cycle those tires back real quick to get them nice and tight back together, so that way he could try to have some sort of grip back for his chase run. And he was the only person I would see do that at
yep.
all. Meanwhile, like when Shanahan would go and he would do his tire warm ups, it was honestly, I had never seen anybody do tire warm ups this way, especially for a track like that. It kind of blew my mind, because he would go heat the tires up and then just brake stand and just rap 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 and smoke them things up and then go. I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yep.
What the hell? Yeah, AJ, that's like I said, that was my only thought, that that's why he was doing it. I know it was only for like seconds, but it had to have made some. He's James the Machine Dean for a reason, so he had to have known what he was doing. It wasn't a spitball motion. It was more of a calculated.
Yeah. And yeah, it's one of those things where it comes with experience with the track, and again, it's one of those reasons why I think Connor benefits from chasing obviously first in all of these runs, but which is why the thing is I was still surprised he was able to stick, like he wasn't getting run over in his leads,
Yeah,
which I was kind of surprised with, because his car I would never say is the fastest car in FD or anything, and
yeah,
his tires, and I was right about the Nitto drivers. We had two Nitto cars on Nittos on the podium.
yep,
When I was predicting that, I just picked the wrong ones.
yeah. Right
But
church, wrong pew.
yeah, but but yeah, I mean the thing with Orlando is it's always tire life, and James Dean is a great example of trying to keep. And he had the biggest tires in FD, and he still was trying to find ways to save tire. So I mean, unfortunately, I think. I mean, obviously, Shanahan proved that driving can ultimately win, but I do think having the right tire at this track is a huge advantage.
Oh, for
Um,
sure, for sure. He's just that outlier of pure, like, the running nowadays joke of bad gamers skill issue. You know,
right. Hmm.
he literally was like basically out on the field like skill issue, motherfuckers. Like, you
Yeah.
want to see how a real player does it? This is how it's done, and
Uh,
it's like, all right,
yeah, for
welcome
sure.
up.
And you know, another driver that I kind of wish I'm kind of bummed about he's not competing for the rest of the year is to see what Adam would have done
Yeah.
in his car because he seemed to be a lot more competitive in his BMW this year, and it's
Yep.
kind of sad to see him like he's obviously I don't think he's planning on running any more rounds this year. Um,
As
but it
far
would have
as I
been
know, I think that was the end. Yeah.
yeah.
Which it
So
does. He was really shining this year, and in his comfortable homemade
mhm.
his car. Like it's not. I mean, yeah, it's still trying to do wheelies, but not at the stature of what an RTR mobile does.
Exactly.
It's like a
Um,
hungry hippo.
right. And the thing is he did great in the seating bracket. Obviously, he did two seating brackets, and I think he podiumed both. I think he got second in
Yeah,
both,
yeah,
behind Shanahan.
yep.
So, so
Literally.
yeah,
Like,
he's right there, and it's a bummer to see him. Kind of now he's done. But I'm
yeah, I
curious to
mean,
see how he does DMEC and how that does. So,
he reversed the roles of his like 2022 to 23 self in that RTR car on Forsberg this weekend.
mm-hmm.
He's like, "You remember all those times that you knocked me out top 32, buddy? Here's the 16."
Yeah,
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 that was cool. I mean, just to see him, like you said, just do good, finally look like he's at home, and then unfortunately now to just be stripped away from the series and to go across the pond. Still excited to see him perform over there. I'm sure he's gonna kill it over there just as well because another E36, right? It's like the
yeah.
same. It's like 1 to 1 almost.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just
That's
just lighter. That car would not be legal in
FD.
FD. No.
Oh, he's gonna even go faster. Jeepers creepers.
Yeah.
Wait, Malik, I think that honestly Connor will do pretty damn good in Utah. And Mateus, Jao times Adam LZ
Uh,
rematch. I mean, I'm I'm tough on Jao. I mean, he was when he did complete a run, he looked good. But in practice, I don't know if you were tuned into our live or if you caught it on FD's live at all. I'm not sure what they might have had gotten, but time and time again, he continuously looped that car. He very rarely made a full run, but when he did, it did look good. I know that he's a very competitive driver. I know that eventually one of these days it's just gonna be like, there he is. There's that guy that earned his pro license. But like overall, comparative, ah, LZ is just way more consistent right now, and I could totally see where that call, like where it came from. I don't think that it was really too out of the ordinary, and I mean in the seating bracket they don't do one more time, so
yep.
shout
Which
out to them for not doing it because we ended 2 hours early on Friday. Hell yeah!
well, it's just I don't necessarily agree with that rule. I don't like that rule personally, but yeah, it is weird that how they time things out now is everything gets done early instead of running way late because they don't run one more
Well,
times and
they
stuff.
definitely were not pleased with their decision on that one because there goes all their ad revenue and all these other things. You got Now you got fans leaving the stadium, which aren't going to spend money
Mm-hmm.
on merch, things like that. It's just lots of money, you know.
Yeah.
So it. I do see the benefit of dragging it out, but I also love the benefit of rushing it along
Yeah.
and getting the hell out of there. I love drifting, baby, but good golly, when it's time to leave, I can't wait.
All right.
uh,
I guess I'll pop it down to the main competition. But yeah, Malik,
yeah, I
and
mean,
he's another
overall
guy
for the
that will
sorry.
yeah, I was gonna say like Malik, he brings up the other driver that showed up and brought a working car to the event. And
He really
sometimes
did.
that's all you have to do.
Yeah, I mean, he what did he do? He during his last practice or warm up run on Friday, I think he blew a turbo, or he might have even done it in his seating bracket. Like something on his turbo went, and it was just something silly. But I
You talking
truly
literal?
at that point I was like, it's like, man, of course, right as it's actually about to matter,
Mm-hmm.
the car's just gonna say, we're good. Let's make you look like an idiot one more time again, you know.
Yep.
But instead, they brought it back to the pit. They've fixed up whatever the issue was. Something, like I said, either small or however big it was, and came out and put on a show for sure. So
Yeah, and the thing is Ryan's always had this talent. He's always been a good driver. The thing is always been the car and putting it together. And
yeah,
it makes it frustrating because he can put together moments where you're like, "Wow, that was an incredible drive." But can the car run 2 laps in a row? And it's always been a no usually. And
yeah,
the thing is with him it's frustrating because the driver's skill is there, but it's always the car.
yeah.
And it's kind of nice to see his battle with Sorensen was bananas, and I think,
It truly was. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, apart from being on fire all the time, or halfway through the
Yeah, I
back
mean,
half of
it's
that
lit.
corner,
It's
is lit.
lit.
But no, it
Yeah, I mean
just
both of them. Like if my jaw could have been dragging the floor, it would have been dragging the floor. While standing behind the camera, I was just like, "You got to be kidding me!
hmm
Like this is insane. Both of these guys are really doing the thing."
hmm
I felt like a dad, like watching their newborns just like grow up or something.
What's up,
uh,
Jason? Um, yeah,
hey,
no,
Mr. Dixon.
yeah, no, I think watching Brandon like not run through someone's door and running them off the track. He's growing up a little bit, you know,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
feel like if this was last year, one of those transitions, he would have went right into someone on the transition,
Oh, 100%. A
and
hundred
he was
percent. He was putting
able.
that front bumper right on their rears
Mhm,
every time. It felt
yes.
like,
So
God.
this year he brained it back about 2%, and that's what he needed because he had the speed, he had the tire, and honestly, like some of the best driving of the day was from him, and made for some crazy battles. I mean, the Odie battle was bananas. His battle with Connor was bananas. Like,
Yeah, having Connor say that he had to go into a scary place to to beat him
well, you saw the
is
transition he did
yeah.
on him. So, I mean,
That's like it was crazy to hear that. Like even though Brandon, getting third place, which is his first pro podium,
mm,
um, Connor like verbally saying, like on that stand, saying that I had to go to an absolute different scary place of driving that I've never really had to tap into before to beat Brandon. Man, I'd be going home bricked up bigger than anybody. I don't care. Like, it's like, did you hear what he said about me? Did you? I made him feel scary.
yeah.
Like, yeah, he.
I haven't talked about Novak yet, Jason, but we'll get to him. Um, we're kind of just jumping
Yeah,
around here, but yeah, Novak
yeah,
had
yeah.
another great round. But yeah, no, and like, did you see? I don't know if you remember Odie's transition on Brandon in the first battle where they one more time where he took off like part of his
The
bumper.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Oh yeah.
wild. Is
And he stayed in it.
mm-hmm.
He stayed in it. Shout
But
out to Odie though for having a overall tough time this weekend. Another
yeah.
motor exploding.
Was it the same
Uh,
issue, or were you able to hear?
I am I did not hear. I think that they were really trying to keep this one like more under wraps, unless that's just me just not knowing. But I
Mm-hmm.
haven't heard it from anybody what the exact issue was. But
Mm-hmm.
considering what it looked like where I was standing and flames again, it all looked way too similar. Like,
Yeah.
there's motors that go all the time that like that we don't. Yeah, we could tell the car shuts off, but like what happens? Like there's no big bang or boom or
Yeah.
whatever. It's just a crank that went, or there's a hole in the side of the block, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the end of it. This was a full blown another fire,
Mm-hmm.
and him dealing with, unfortunately, the loss of his loved one during that weekend as well,
Yeah.
and just all these trials and tribulations for the field team, and he still just put it all to the side and came out swinging and proves himself to be like Odie is just he's one of my favorites. He is, and pushes the limit all the time. Those cars are just insane. Simon's insane, but Odie, props to you for keeping a level head throughout hundreds of thousands of dollars I can only imagine going out the window, and somebody that you care deeply for, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
like, and to keep that the horse blinders on to like, all right, we got to win. It's like that. I'd pack it in the trailer, dude. I'd go home.
Yeah.
I, you know me, I didn't even want to be there, and then mine was for a four-legged guy, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, so like fucking, yeah.
No,
So
it
props to you, Odie, if you ever do happen to see this. Much love, brother. Much love.
yeah. I mean, created some great battles, and you mentioned Olsen. You know, Olsen looked great. He just got beat by someone that was even more on, and
Yeah,
someone that I think who I underestimated this year. I mean, I knew Manoa was good, but I assumed there would be some kind of learning curve. Granted,
me too. Me
Orlando
too.
isn't a complicated track, so that probably helps a little bit, but still.
It's all the semantics behind the easy
Hmm.
track, the tire degradation, the tire fires that he ended up finding himself out about because
Hmm.
he also started catching his car on fire come the end of the event. And
Hmm.
I was like, let's go, little guy, he's figuring it out. But like there's more to the two turns than that meets the eye. And that's why I was always a big hater of Orlando, is because it's two turns,
Hmm.
you know. That's like, all right, yeah, let's show the people what the pros can do. It's like, yeah, I could do that. But could I do it at that level? Probably not. You know,
Exactly.
you know. And like I'd be out there on my lead run, just left foot braking and banging limiter, and then I'd go to chase, and I'd be like, "Damn, we got to do that now.
Hmm.
Where's my new tires?" Yeah. So yeah,
it's
Manoa, he's crazy.
it's it brings up the topic of these are the kids. These kids are coming in on the sim, and they're doing things that we've never really seen in drifting apart from maybe a James Dean doing it,
Yep.
but he's not. I wouldn't consider James Dean. Granted, he obviously went through some battles and stuff, but I don't know if I would be putting his chase runs at this event in comparison to what Brandon Shanahan and Manoa were doing.
I I wouldn't honestly. I know that James ultimately he had an easier run up to the finals.
Hmm.
He, I
Well, I
mean,
don't know.
so
His battles were Turk and Field, so those aren't easy
well,
battles, but they were
yeah,
because of
but like
mistakes on other
ex-
drivers.
exactly. So like he capitalized on not having to push that envelope as hard, and like just having that name James Dean, it's like the driver sees the bracket and it's like shit. Like that's already like that's taking somebody 5% off their mental right there, because it's like I gotta go against the best guy in the world. So like he has immediately in my head like that upper advantage that other guys don't really have, just because he is who he is, and just intimidating. He is our Dale Earnhardt, the Intimidator. He really is.
Yeah, and like you
Just
said earlier, he was doing crazy things just to keep tires alive, and he has the
yeah,
biggest tires in the field. So,
yeah, and he was the. I mean, it was hard to say he's the only one, because I think we didn't get to really see Ben again, unfortunately, go out there and showcase what his talents truly are, because he got the short end of the stick going against Shanahan in the seeding bracket. Like, what do
mhm,
you expect? Like I expect Ben to do good, but ultimately I don't expect him to beat Connor. Like
right.
that's just Connor is in an easier car to drive. I can only imagine. One, two, he's been around the pro world of like this,
He won
like
DMEC
upper.
last year.
Yeah, he's been around this upper echelon of pro drivers a lot. I don't want to say a lot longer, but like longer. And like this is Ben's first year in chassis, first year pro spec. I don't even count because sorry, but
It's different when
more
you're
than
in
half
that
of
kind
you
of a
guys
car.
are, yeah, more than half of you guys are like pro am to me anyway at this point still. So fight me, I don't care. But I mean, I feel bad for Ben, but James's car, dude, doing like when he was on a chase, that thing just biting at people. When you would see him like on throttle and then off like that, I can't imagine driving that car. How do you see? How do you literally see out of the hood when the hood's your view? Like, yes.
You gotta remember he's like 6'4" or something.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I stand next to him. I look like a midget. But yeah, Manoa and Connor said that they had over 1,000 laps on the sim before that they did this event. That they were practicing together on Assetto. Um, I think they mentioned this during the podium section. Also, sorry everybody that my dumbass forgot to do the podium live. And by the time I remembered, it was like halfway through, and I was like,
Yeah.
"You guys are gonna just come into Jared just talking about breastfeeding fucking Connor or
That's
something like that."
like the
So
best part though.
it
Is
was. That's
Jared
like
goes
when it
off
like
on the
hit me.
podium.
When it hit me, it was like during that, and I was like, "Yo, you guys would love this. Like, what is he even saying right now?" He's like, "Oh, James, you used to breastfeed Connor, didn't you?" And I'm like, "Dude, what? What?" But yeah, that was funny. But yeah. I mean, overall, crazy to see Manila, crazy to see
The
fucking
kids.
Shanahan. Yeah, the sim guys just absolutely prove that the sim is a tool. I love it.
Yeah, and in the chat brought or Jason brought up Novak. He was looking on fire as well. Just ran into Shanahan. you know,
Yeah,
and talk about another guy that did good. Taylor Hall.
yeah.
Where was that
I
chase run come from? Like.
dude, I think he's overall. I was not a Taylor Hall fan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Taylor Hall. I was not a fan. The talk of the town of him being a sandbagger and just taking advantage of rules that you can get away from. I just didn't like his driving style, but he's really over the past, I want to say, couple of years, 2 years now, he's like changed his whole attitude. He's changed his driving style, program. He's trying to more brand himself as like his own rather than copying Dale Earnhardt. Um, I know that he still has like the old Winston Cup livery, basically colors on, but like I think it looks a lot cooler. It's not just raise hail, praise Dale. Um, but I think all of that changing, his mentality, his driving style, everything, like obviously changing your driving style to become a better driver is going to be the biggest propagator in being a better driver. Um, makes him to have these successful runs and to put these chases down because he's just like he's just changing his brand. I don't really know how to articulate my way of like saying this, but he truly just seems like that he's the whole Taylor Hull has changed, not just his driving, and that focuses more on the how his driving changed.
Yeah, I will say though, it seems like recently he's had car issues a lot. Um,
Definitely has had a lot of car issues. I've heard him and Field are both in like it seems like the same predicament,
mhm,
but,
yeah,
yeah, whole powering through those car issues and then coming and putting down heaters and absolutely just being on the door. Who was he even? He was against Kengushi. Well, Kengushi didn't count because unfortunately, right before his top 32 battle, Ken did a little oopsie, the first oopsie of the entire weekend into the big bank. So that
well, there were a couple guys that hit the big, I think,
they did, but
but
he
it
was like
wasn't the first
he
big
was
one.
the first one that was like, damn, we gotta stop the track. we got
Hmm.
it's like that was it wasn't like is he okay style. It was just like, damn, there goes the front
Front
and
left of the
rear.
car, yeah.
Yeah, like, and he threw in the towel. But then Hull versus Shanahan, and I mean he had to turn up. He did. He
Yeah, like
definitely did.
I think that was it was good to see, because I think he needed that,
Hmm.
just in the last couple rounds. Another guy, like the big loser of the weekend though, I think is Freddie Osbo.
For sure. He was
Losing.
not pleased about that call. That if there was any drama of the weekend, I think that would be the run that would be dramatic. As if you were to go up to his team right now and ask them, "Hey, how do you feel that the Diego run went?"
Hmm.
They would probably be one pissed off set of people because
Was the
I
argument
see
that he got braked?
that his line was so shallow, and then
Okay.
when he snapped that transition right at the end, it was just offline a little bit. And like I get it, but at the same time,
I just
like
feel like Osbo didn't give him the room to transition.
I think that's it, and I think that yeah, Diego was like a little bit, if you want to call offline, but he was still online. He was just so aggressive and full throttle up until that last little point of like,
Hmm.
okay, decel, flicked the car so fast and so hard that like when Osbo went to mimic that, if you're not ready for what that is, like obviously the track at this point, but like you got to flick, clutch in, like do all these different things just to like suck back up at to that point because the inertia is just trying to bring you way out wide, and that's where it brought him. I mean, in
Well,
that in that
he
zone, you're battling with smoke. Like you can't see.
yeah, like I think you have to give the driver space to transition there in that section, and
Yeah.
I don't. He didn't, and
Yep.
you put yourself
Like
in
you
that
said, like
situation
Jason
of
said. Yeah.
yeah, where you don't have the space, obviously to make the transition. But the reason you do that, so a guy that did it perfectly was Connor.
Yeah.
It was I think it was the Sorensen battle. Where he said he had to drive uncomfortably
Yeah.
out of his comfort zone against Brendan, and you saw in his transition he does what Osbo tries to do, and
Is
it is basically transitioning before almost basically is before the lead guy does,
Yep.
and just
cut through the smoke
yeah,
line
and just
and
barely
just
gives him enough space. And I think this is why Field lost is because the way Field did it when he hit Dean was he didn't bring the front end over enough. He hit the back of Dean
yep,
uh, coming through the smoke line. And
yep,
so it's literally a gamble though when you do that because you can't see anything. So you're just
hmm
assuming the lead driver in front of you is going to do exactly what you're doing. And
yep,
you know when your margins are inches and the lead car
yep,
does not do exactly what you're doing, or in this case Osbo is probably half like 6 inches too close.
yep,
That's just what ends up happening. And people's like you said earlier, Orlando's only two corners, but the problem is probably a quarter of the track you can't see anything, and
yeah,
that's if you're in the right place. If you're
yeah.
in the wrong place, you don't see anything the last half of the
That
track. But
from entry basically all the way to the end. If you are not right on that door, you are in a smoke line. So
yeah, so that's always the challenge of this course is the transition because you're going so fast and trying to swap the angle and the weight of the car, because the other part of that transition is if you don't set yourself up right in the transition and you are farther back of the car, you lose all your grip, all your momentum, and it just pushes you off the end of the track there, and good luck catching the guy in front of you at that point.
yeah,
They're gone.
for sure. Yeah, I
So
mean you're not wrong there, AJ. I mean, if obviously in a especially being a pro driver, you should notice if a lead car is offline. Like I said, I don't think that Diego personally was offline. I think that this was just in Osbo, like looking back at their run, and like even while he was in the car, he probably didn't even feel this. But when they look back at that run, they probably think, "Wow, he was a little like more on the inside when he made that transition for Interclip 2." But really, like, was he? Like, I don't think that he was. To me, I truly, like I said, I think that it was just a steezy gangster transition, and it just caused for Ozba to just, like you said, he was a day late, $1 short on his transition, and wasn't necessarily expecting Diego to do such a cool thing. Excuse me.
yeah, I'm just gonna quick pull it up. Here it is. All right, here we go. You can see that. You just can't hear audio, right?
Sure can.
But I think the chat can.
Look at Sopa. Man, what a run though, leading up to it. Good
Diego's car looks so
golly.
good.
It does, and it focuses so well.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's obviously not the good angle. So we'll see on the replays.
Can only imagine what went through Diego's head though. Like as soon as his spotter must have said like he spun.
But he said it in
Dude.
Brazilian
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Portuguese.
Yeah, like that kid must have been
Okay,
um
interesting. Okay, I kind of see what people are saying to where his line is a little goofy.
right. It's definitely a little bit different comparatively
Yeah,
to
we'll let this.
the droner
Well,
go.
okay, it's not a good angle. I want to see the overhead again. Can we play this in? Let's go 0.5. Let's see what happens.
I never want to see anybody directly get knocked out, but when I did see Osbo get knocked out, I was pretty pumped just because I want James to win the championship again. I love you, Osmo, but I just want my Irish boy to get that fourth championship first than anybody else. That's all I want. But then at the same time, I don't, because then he was talking about how he might retire after all this. Like, man, no, that's not how this works. Yeah.
I probably should turn off the audio for this because it's kind of sounds silly.
Oh, the half
Yeah,
speed.
the half speed. But yeah. So the interesting part is, so look, the angle that he is taking is super shallow, and he takes
Yep.
out that clip,
Yep.
and kind of there's not a lot of room for Osbo there to get in. But to be
Yep.
fair, Osbo shouldn't be trying to dive in right there. Like that's the point
Nope.
where you need to hold it back and then get ready for the transition. And
To then,
obviously,
yeah, you gotta like assess the situation and take the better of the hands dealt. And unfortunately, he took the worser of the hand. He wanted to prove himself there rather than here. He was just a little early on proving I am better, and he suffered it, unfortunately. I agree, Dan. And I also agree that it was a chaseable lead. It was just a little bit different, and that's all it was. And Osbo just tried to hold that consistency of how he had been used to running the track, and he bit the bullet for it.
yeah. And oh, and I know why you guys don't hear the so I'm gonna test something. We're gonna do this and then this. Oh, okay. So say something real quick. Chat, let me know if you can hear Herbie. Well, you have to talk, Herbie. Oh, no, can't hear Herbie. I can't hear Herbie. Okay, so now, well, that's weird. So I can't turn on desktop audio, uh, which would be audio from this without. Okay.
Having me echo.
Yeah, it's always something, man.
I thought
Always
you were about
something.
to just get up and walk out of the room.
I'm just like I'm so done with this stuff,
You
man.
look like
Why
you
can't they
were
just make it
just
easy? Just give me
you were just
a bunch
about
of
to just
different
say, all
things.
right.
They just can't hear it because I was gonna quick bring up just some of these battles that were bananas. Um,
You guys just make the car noises with your mouths.
um, but I mean, I can just play them in the background while we're talking because I don't know, just kind of wrapping things up here. But I mean, the thing is, I was really bummed I missed this because this looked like a party of an event.
Dude, and Walters was in the same pit as me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I was so pumped for him. And then when Walters found out that instead of fourth, Brandon got third, I wanted to hug him. I was like, it's like, talk about feeling like watching one of your kids is coming into their own. Walters is he would feel that more than
Oh yeah.
anybody in this
Hmm.
circumstance. Like, he has been with Brandon since day one, and the Sorensen family since day one, and to see him finally get that, like, drive this good, and then to get a podium
Hmm.
against, like, up there with the two biggest names debatably in the drifting world, like,
Yep.
oh man, feels good, feels really cool and good.
Yeah.
What is Sorensen on tonight? I see that chat in the
Oh
FB
yeah.
stream. For real. Like, that's for real.
I mean, he was literally pushing Connor around the track, and it was
Yeah.
it was so much fun to see. Um,
Well, just a battle of just American tax dollars in Ireland.
yeah. Oh, it's
Damn
funny.
Skippy. Unfortunately, the old tax dollars didn't pay out this time, but one of these days, baby, they will. They will. I am I've been watching Brandon drift now when he got his license. I was there when he
Down in
earned his
Vegas. Or no,
Um,
wait, I was
it was
in
it was at
Virginia.
VIR. Yeah,
Yeah, at VRI. I remember that event
yeah,
because
yep.
he kept
That
drag
was
racing away from everyone
yep.
before.
He was young buck. I did not like you at all, Brandon. I because you were a kid. I did not like the way again, it was the same sort of thing as like Taylor Hall, but opposite. Instead of sandbagging, this dude would just take off and just see, fuck you, this is what mommy's money will pay for, daddy. It's like, look at all this power I got. But
Yeah, I remember that. That was funny.
that was yeah, and like to see
I
him,
think that was the last competition VAR's ever had, by the way.
yes. Yeah, I think I
Last Pro-Am, at least.
yeah, yeah, not like a Hyperfest like fun comps. I don't consider those. Yeah, but
Hmm.
watching him, this is what really like makes me appreciate Brandon to a whole other level. Is I don't know if you ever remember his interview from that event, but it was a kid, obviously, that was coming from a better off family that did not necessarily know how to appreciate the good things in life. Now to a kid that is so humble and that has like yeah, he still comes from a good family and like props to him, props to them, but like is aware, isn't as much of like a self-centered guy, like truly like gets emotional, like sees the outside perspective of everything, and like to see that growth in him as a person overall, which then in turn look at his driving, while like they go hand in hand. I think that these things go hand in hand with each other. It makes me happy so much. Like, I said for years when I would talk about Brandon, I was like, you should have seen his interview when he won his pro license. He didn't give a shit. And now like I look at it, I'm like, damn, like this kid, he's taking this and he does care.
Hmm.
He truly does. He was just young. He was, I don't want to say spoiled, but he's a little spoiled. He's a little spilt milk, you know.
Yeah.
But now to be this more well-rounded man, especially repping the good old U.S. of A. Shout out my boy.
Hmm.
Hell yeah, best country in the world. Sorry everybody else.
You're not wrong. And we just watched Manoa back here lighting his car on fire. It's just
Dude,
wild how like consistent that was too. It's really interesting. I'm like,
it really was, and like I
I'm like
know
that
that
can't
this
be
kid
good
had the.
for it, but the question
like
is,
it,
does that cook the tire faster? Do you lose grip faster if it's on fire? I would
right? Like
assume.
I'm I'm assuming that it does, or it's just baking off all the extra shit that you don't need. Maybe you're saving weight by cooking the tires. You
Yeah,
know, we got we gotta get the info on this. Who's the scientist back here?
I know, right?
But uh, but yeah, I mean, like for a 14-year-old kid to be going up against this guy and to be doing it that well, insane,
I mean,
insane.
we got double one, not double. Like we each got a one more time in each side of the top four. Like that's how close it was.
Yep,
And
insane. And I wasn't even mad about it.
no,
That's when you know when the media personnel and the staff for FD are not upset about it one more time. That's when you know that it is a very very good show. BR. Sorry, Anderson. USA.
yeah.
Oh fuck.
But
But
Jason's
yeah,
right.
I mean,
Derek got his license at the same event. Sorensen got his license.
yeah,
You remember that? You
yeah.
remember Derek's car in the blue?
I do. Holy shit, it was blue.
It's the same car he's driving now.
Well, not for long. 2 more weeks. He's
Yeah,
got 2 weeks.
to build a new car. I don't know if you guys saw that in the chat, but he's deciding to put everything into his new car chassis.
Yeah, Jason,
Um,
don't you got a lot of work to do?
yeah.
Don't you got a lot of stuff that you could be doing? Oh, smokes. Yeah, I mean Malik, that would be cool. I mean, like he said, so the only reason why I said that, if he does win this fourth championship, he mentioned to um, Jared that he would be spending a lot more time hanging around the pits with him. It's not that he wouldn't be at FD, but he would have a lot more time to hang with Jared. So what Malik said would definitely not be something too far out of the question, where he starts bringing over some of his
Just
boys to
run a team of Shanahans.
run a team of literally, you don't even gotta walk, you don't even gotta look far, they got a whole family of them. What do you want? We got Jack, we got Connor, we got like, what do you want?
Exactly. So
Oh my god. Well, there's four Jacks in a trade, so or,
right.
or in a deck, so we need four of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the chat, you guys have been awesome this show for sure. We I don't know. I think we hit on most of the points from
You
the
want me to
weekend,
tell
man.
you want me to tell my perspective?
Oh, you running your own show?
Yeah, the hurt. All right, folks. So they obviously wasn't there, and well, not really, obviously, because I mean the footage was just so good that you couldn't even tell. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But Nate wasn't able to make it, unfortunately, to his first FD round in 6 years, which is, I mean, I
It's a
was
minute.
definitely, I was definitely a bit fucking jealous of him at the beginning. Going into this round, there wasn't anything I wanted to do other than be under my covers in a dark fucking room. But he got my ass out of the house again. Somehow he did it, and I get there, I land, everything's kosher pickle. Well, I'm broke as shit, and I forgot about a good old rental car security deposit. So here I am. This is delayed flight, 2 hours already. Not a problem. Get to the rental thing. Now it's like 1 in the morning. Now I have no money. I gotta contact my poor mother to try to send me money so I could fucking get this rental car. Not a problem. I'm in a little bit of a tizzy, but it's whatever. I knew that ultimately, what's the sense of being stressed out about something? It's gonna get figured out. So I leave there, go to 7-Eleven because I needed a tall boy. I knew I was stressed out. I know what myself needs, my vices. And as I'm pulling in, tractor trailer is blocking the whole damn parking lot. I'm like, all right. So I quick scoot around to the other side, park, because I could see that he's a delivery guy. He's doing his job. I go to get out of the car, and this guy comes running up to me and saying, "Are you gonna be here long?" I'm like, "No. You've already wasted more time talking to me than what I would have spent inside the store." This is literally what I told him. And he's like, "Oh, well, we're gonna block you in." I was like, "If you block me in, you're going to have the worst day of your entire life." So there's that. And I was like, "I'm a customer, and you're a delivery guy. I've worked in a retail store before. I know how this goes." So go inside, come out, and this guy, he comes back up to me. He's like, "Oh, we were able to figure it out." And I look at him, and I just think to myself, what negative thing could I say to this guy to make him feel bad? And I'm like, well, so I walk up to the guy's window. That's because he had a friend. There was two of them in one 18-wheeler because apparently they can't figure it out. And I was like, I would really hope, sir, that you would be able to figure this out because this is your profession. And if you couldn't figure it out, then I'd have to call somebody else to do the job for you. And that just riled him right up. Let me tell you. Got out of the truck and started huffing and puffing. And I just moseyed over to my Chevy Malibu and just left. I was like, I'm really not trying to get into an Orlando fight within the first 15 minutes of me being here. So during that, get to the hotel. Well, I'm retarded again. Excuse my French. I'm R word. I drove to the wrong hotel. So then had to go to the other hotel because I'm an idiot. That just semantics. Um, you know, fast forward to the morning. It's time. I get to the track like 2.5 hours, 3 hours early, just so that way, like, I less stress. I'm just chilling. Everything, like, I knew that Becca was gonna get there whenever. Like, I just wanted to make my rounds, maybe say hello to people. Get there, and there's already a massive line for will call, and it said that will call wasn't supposed to open until X time. And I'm like, okay, well, that's cool that they opened it early. Also, not cool because now I can't finesse my way inside the track without being noticed. So I still tried, and I had this nice woman, block me and say, "Where's your sticker?" And I say, "I don't have one. I have my hard card. I just need to drop off this excess of 100 pounds of media stuff inside so I don't got to carry it all the way in." She said, "Well, you can wait in line like everybody else." And I said, "Oh, that's how we're going to play this game." So she starts having like the 6 cars behind me start to try to back up. Like, okay, someone fell off the short bus this morning. And anyway, so I pull forward and I like, she's now screaming at me because instead of backing up, I pull forward to make a U-turn and I turn around and I roll my I had to. I roll my passenger window down and I say, "Isn't it incredible what thinking for 1 second of your life will do and how many issues are solved by not fucking or by actually taking one brain cell out of your brain?" And she pointed directly at the tow truck and said, "Oh, you want to get towed?" I was like, "Please, no, please." Like, how do I explain this to Nate that I'm here for 2 minutes and I get towed? I can't afford this. What am I supposed to do? So I go and I park. I hide the car so that way, just in case if she was serious, that she couldn't actually tow me. And I made it a purposeful thing to find my way back over there, but not being recognized as the same guy. And I schmoozed the hell out of her. I was like, "Man, it's hot out here, right? It's crazy. It's gonna be a long weekend, blah blah blah." Turned out to be like good friends with this lady. And yeah, not she was just doing her job. And I was just an angry, entitled white guy. Like, I mean, you call a spade a spade. I was just being the stereotype that I am, you know?
Good old
Why
stereotypes.
are you antagonizing all these poor workers trying to I don't know, dude, because I get antagonized all the time, Jason. I don't know. It's just it makes me smile by being a little passive aggressive. I try to use instead of just saying like fuck you. I try to come up with really witty, good stabs. Like how to really like make a person maybe not feel bad in the heat of it, but once you walk away, they're gonna think about it. That is that is my end goal. But get to the track, the like disregard all of the event because the event was just incredible. I mean, like we discussed, I have absolutely zero complaints from the moment that I picked up your gear until the moment that I got back to the hotel, or even in the morning. Like,
Hmm.
I have zero complaints. I mean, the hotel. I even asked Becca. I was like, "Becca, does your floor smell?" She was like, "Yeah, a little bit." I'm like, "It's kind of crazy, right? It smells like sweat and cat piss." I'm like, "This is crazy." Like, I walk in here, I'm like I don't even own a cat. But like, is it me? But overall, like, all that was good. And then, well, I am the most geographically challenged human being on this east coast of the country, and it was time to now return said rental. and I must have made 5 laps around Orlando or airport. Probably, I don't even know what the tolls cost anything.
I don't know. Guess we'll find out.
I hope not, because it kept having me rotate around the airport. I'm trying to follow the signs to return this rental, and now I'm an hour of sleep in, if you even want to call it that, because I couldn't pass out the night before. By the time we got back to the hotel, it was like 1:30, and I do the deliverables
Hmm.
for the few dudes, and I'm like, all right, we'll just hang out. Maybe we won't even sleep. We just got to get to the airport, and then we have all the time in the world to just take a nap. So 4 o'clock comes around, and I'm like, well, I guess we'll just lay down for an hour. Shouldn't have done that. Lay down until 5:30, which I didn't want to, and it takes 30 minutes to get there. Following the signs, again, geographically challenged, looking, missing every mark that I needed to hit. I ended up back into this company's sixth. Is that what it was? Sixth rental or something like that? I ended up in their parking garage 4 separate times, and all I hear is my voice echoing through this entire place, just freaking out. And then, unfortunately, having to call Nate while he's still in bed, literally waking his ass up, panic, freaking the fuck out for no good reason other than the fact that it's like I might just miss my flight. But, like, if that does happen, and I'm just staying in Orlando for a couple weeks. I got some friends down here. I guess I'll make it worth my while somehow. The only bad part is that I don't have my own camera to find some work for. But yeah, shout out to Nate and Charity is really ultimately what the grand scheme of Herbie's weekend goes down to. It's just thank you to this fine gentleman and his fine wife, and keeping me stable and
Yeah, it
not
wasn't a big deal.
actually.
You just had
I
to
felt
just had to look at the sign, and it was there.
the last thing I ever want to do is let people see the Herbie rage. And the only people that really know it are Matt and Alex. And if I let that out to the public often, then I might be put into a home or something. I might get an early onset of like I might get my personal padded wall.
Yeah. Here's the finals with the
Yeah.
good old Jimmy, Jimmy Dane. Well, that's
Well,
James
almost
Dean's.
finals.
Or no, you're right. This is the top
Yeah.
four. I'm
This
dumb.
this is didn't they have a one more time? Yeah, the one more
Yeah,
time
yeah. This
of
is the
the
one more
top four.
time. Jeez, this is just crazy. But yeah, Jason, we will do a New Jersey pre-show probably the week before New Jersey. It's usually what we do. I
Yeah,
don't
I'll
remember the
be
day that New Jersey is this month. I just don't remember which day. Yep.
21st, 22nd or some, or 20th to the 22nd, because there's the 3 days because of the practice,
Hmm.
something like
So
that. Are you staying pro bro down?
negative.
Come
I got
on, dude.
deliverables, bro. I gotta
Change
get
the
people.
flight.
I gotta get. I'm actually driving out there. Um,
Dude, change the day back home, man. I will help you with your deliverables. I can do it. I promise you I can do it. If that's all it's gonna take for you to stick around for potentially the most fun event at Englishtown for the year, you should.
we'll see.
If you can, yeah,
We'll see.
fit that in your tight butthole schedule.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I got Grid Life this weekend. I have Drift Appalachian next weekend. I have Formula Drift New Jersey the next weekend after that. I have LS Fest the next weekend after that.
Jeepers, dude.
Um, I think there's something else, but yes. So those are my next 4 weekends.
Well, if you ever need any extra help, I know a guy.
I know, got to.
How do you? I'm dying to go to Drift Appalachia.
Yeah, it's
Did they reach out
I'm
to you?
well, Link sponsors.
Oh yeah. I figured it
Yeah,
was either one or the other.
yeah,
I've
it's for
asked
Link,
them.
so it's
Yeah.
strictly just we'll see. I have no idea what the
Damn.
plan is down there, so we'll see. It should be fun. But
Dang, boy.
oh yeah, and this is where Connor says he had to drive out of his depth a little bit there.
Yeah, basically trying to choke back the tears at this point because he's on cloud nine. Oh,
Yeah,
Pro Bro Down live stream?
yeah, that'd be
Ooh,
pretty
that would
fun.
be pretty cool. Dude, live stream inside Sneaky Pete's? Oh wait, by the
Oh,
way, any predictions
yeah,
on
we
the Forsberg Ultimaniac livery now that he's not Valvoline? I can give you my direct factual, but that would be not a prediction.
yeah.
I know what the unfortunately I do know what the design is, but you'll have to wait another less than 24 hours probably. Yeah,
Okay.
less than like basically like 16 hours now,
And
and you'll find out.
is he bringing
Sorry,
that?
Jason.
Is,
The sorry,
is he bringing that to Grid Life?
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay.
or if he's not, they were trying to bring the twin turbo car that they got decked out in all Z panels.
Mm, yeah.
Which again, fuck, maybe I shouldn't say that because it's a new Z. It's definitely not a 370.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nobody
the
heard
thing looks
anything.
sick.
It's fine.
Nos, 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 steal it, nos. Or it could be somebody else. Would be crazy if there was
Will
another
be
oil
great.
company on there.
Yeah. But yeah. I gotta. I still gotta pack some stuff up and get ready for my drive to the other side of the state.
Alrighty,
Um,
partner.
yeah. But great show and great having one here in the chat.
Yeah, thanks for
Uh,
hanging out, everybody. Jason, it was a pleasure having you in here, dude. It was
yeah.
also not a pleasure not having you at Orlando, you stinky son of a gun.
Yeah, he needs to fix that stuff.
Have you guys seen the new bracket? I have not seen the new bracket. I'll have to take a gander at it.
I have seen the new bracket, but I'm not gonna talk about it until we
My
do the
only question
pre-show.
is, Vaughn's in the seeding bracket now, right? Right.
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure.
I think
Just
Power
making
is going against him, so Power gets a win, which he needs badly.
at the home track. Let's
Hmm.
go. Let's go, Mike. You better, Jason. Come on, baby. Don't be a bitch. Come on, dude. If it's not for the driving, it's for the partying.
Got to.
That's what we're good for. It's the only thing. Well, I mean, I guess you could say we breed some pretty decent drivers too, but you like a Forsberg, Vaughn, Turkey,
You're subpar.
Power when he's not in his head. You
Yeah.
got Alex, Matt, Brian Hop. You, where how deep we want
Right.
to but
All
me
right,
and Derek are
guys.
having a battle to see who can be more broke. That's funny. I think he's winning this one right now. I'm sorry,
I was
buddy.
gonna say, how much do you owe?
I think we could be equally just really broke, but I think in the grand scheme of numbers, I think that his number is trumping what I am at this
Yeah, I think
current
he's
time.
more in the negative.
Yeah. Him and Odie are really just I think that they're head to head at this point, given time. Odie's just unfortunately for other circumstances and Derek's are just for literally every circumstance, basically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. But
it's been rough.
thanks for
But
tuning in, Malik. I appreciate you, man.
yeah,
Appreciate
again,
all you guys.
thank you to everybody in the chat hanging out. All right, guys, we will catch you on the next one, and hopefully I get some more stuff posted too. But
Damn, Skippy.
damn right.